Right, well here we have the Eken V8s, now marketed V9. I tested the previous Ekens, the H9R, the H8R, and they were both really excellent budget cameras. This camera features the umbrella chip which is used in a lot of high-end cameras and actually records in native 4K at 24 frames a second, so it promises to be even better. Comes with the usual range of accessories. In addition to the usual range of accessories, you've got a splash-proof remote, or they sometimes call them waterproof, but personally I think they're better splash-proof. You've got a small tripod stroke hand grip, which I've not seen in package with a camera before, apart from the Xiaomi Sphere 360 camera. Of course you've got a waterproof case as well, which comes with two backs, ventilated back as well, which you don't always get, and the usual range of mounts. As far as the camera goes, operation is by 3 buttons. You've got mode power on the front, you've got the Wi-Fi stroke scroll through button, and you've got the shutter release, which you also use to change settings. Screen on the back, 170-degree lens on the front, battery slot here which is easy to access, micro USB and an HDMI out, and of course the card slot. Interesting thing about this is when you put the card in, as I discovered, it runs through a little test to tell you whether or not it's fast enough for 4K, and you do need a U3 card. Both cards I put in first were class 10s, but it said not fast enough. So if you want to shoot 4K, you need a decent, really high spec card. So operation, press the mode button, a couple of seconds, it fires up. There is no card in at the moment. Press the shutter release, you start taking video. Press the mode button once, you're into stills mode. As you can see, there's a stills icon, 40 megapixel. Press again, you're in burst photo mode. Press again, you're in time lapse. Press again, you're in settings, which again is video, photo or settings. So press once, you're in photo, press settings, press shutter, and you scroll through, you can change various parameters, timestamp. This camera has EIS, which is electronic image stabilization. I've not found it in the menu to turn it off, but it's reckoned to be very good, so I shall do a little test of that at the end. So version, firmware version, right, when it's on the X, press that, you come out. If you want to change settings, scroll through to settings, press that, and then press shutter again, and you're into all the different resolutions, and you can scroll through. 1080-60. EIS or gyro stabilization doesn't work in 4K because of the processing power, so my video stabilization comparison test with the yi2 will be at 1080-30, which is this one. So you could just scroll down to that, like so. I'll come back to it again, press shutter, and I've selected it. Scroll through again, takes some getting used to this, but scroll through again till you are on the X. Press shutter, and you're back in camera mode at 1080-30, as you can see, and that shows battery state. Right, so of course the other thing you notice, it's got two screens. It's got one on the front, one on the back. One thing it's missing, which I would have liked, would be a flashing light to show you that it's recording, an LED on the front, because the only thing you can see is that changes to red, but minor criticism. Turn it off, press the mode button and hold it, otherwise it'll be considered a short press. Did a little jingle and it stops. Case feels nice. It's a bit smaller than some of the cameras, slim and small, no open seams, looks like a decent manufacture. Right, let's get on with some test clips. Right, same test shot. Having said that, the sun's come out now a little. Same test shot. This is the Eken V8s. Audio is from the cameras in both cases, but these shots will be rendered at 1080. and the yi2. The conditions are changing quite a lot. Sun keeps going in and out, but there's some good definition on the cottages here and some nice colours. Right, the Eken at 4K 24 frames a second. And the Xiaomi yi2 4K 30 frames a second. Some good definition here. Right, so here's my side-by-side electronic image stabilization test, or EIS, Gyro, or whatever you want to call it. We've got the yi2 just here. We've got the Eken just here, and for comparison, here's the SJ-Cam 5000X Elite with the gyro not turned on, and that's here. So here's a bit of swaying, here's a bit of vibration, that's quite severe vibration, there's a bit of rocking about again, up and down. That's really severe vibration, and mostly gyros are good for testing vibration, or best really for dealing with vibration, shall we say, rather than gentle movement. But that just about covers it. I'll stick these on side by side and then one by one. So the Eken V8s. I was impressed with the 4K video from this. The company say it's the cheapest native 4K camera on the market. It's probably half the price of the Xiaomi yi2. The 1080-60 wasn't that good, and the company know that they've got some problems with the firmware as far as that goes, but I'm sure they'll sort that out with a firmware change somewhere. Camera build quality looks good, lens was nice and sharp, colours are good. So all in all, a good little 4K camera, especially at the price that it sells at. Well, I hope that's helpful. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.